I wasn't actually present during this story, but my name did get dragged into it, and my family has told it many times. This vacuum cleaner salesman came to the door, and my dad answered it and immediately said,
"I'm not interested in your vacuum cleaner. Go away."
My younger brother Philip was a teenager at the time, and he had a mountain man sort of beard. It really put a lot of other boys to shame. Anyway, to get back on track, Philip pretended to be interested in the vacuum cleaner because he had never dealt with a salesman at the time and he was a little bored. As my dad was telling them he had zero interest in this vacuum cleaner, Philip was standing behind him making comments like, "Ooh, a vacuum cleaner. Maybe. Oh, maybe we need one of those." So the salesman started conversating with Philip to try and make the sale. My dad was over it and just left Philip up to his shenanigans. Still talking with Philip, the salesman brought his vacuum cleaner inside so he could do his full spiel. Now, you have to understand that our house at the time was not very clean, especially the walk from the front door to the living room. My dad worked for the kind of construction company that he had to dig tunnels to place sewer lines and other things like that. He would come home from work completely filthy from head to toe and just waltz on through with his muddy boots and clothes and just kind of flop onto the recliner for a while. The salesman started out with asking Philip to just vacuum a section of the floor with his own vacuum and do it for as long as he normally would do it when he cleans the floors. First of all, Philip goes rummaging around the house trying to figure out where the vacuum cleaner is even located. My mom, who wasn't home at the time, had the vacuum cleaner torn apart in the kitchen because she had been working on it. Philip, being Philip, fumbled around for a little while with the cord and the on button and basically everything that had to do with running the vacuum cleaner. He also paid no never mind to the bag that catches the dirt was not even attached to the vacuum cleaner. It was actually laying in the kitchen floor. He just turned the vacuum cleaner on and went for it with no bag on it. So with nothing attached to the vacuum cleaner to actually catch anything that it was sucking up, dust and dirt and who knows what else was just flying around the room like some man-made dust storm inside of the house. To make it even better, the salesman didn't even act fazed by this. He just stood there and watched. Philip stopped vacuuming, and the salesman asked if that was how long he would normally vacuum and if it looked clean to his satisfaction. Philip said, "Yeah, looks good to me." My dad moved out of his chair away from them because he didn't want involved. The salesman proceeded to vacuum the same area Philip had vacuumed. He said, "Now just watch how much more dirt this vacuum can actually take up compared to your vacuum cleaner." Bruh. After running a bagless vacuum cleaner, a broom would have done a better job. Anyway, the sales guy showed Philip the amount of dirt that he got up with his fully functioning vacuum cleaner. And Philip was just nodding his head and, oh, yes, oh, amazing. The salesman carried on with his spiel and said, "Now you wouldn't believe how much dirt is actually on your furniture. The vacuum has a furniture cleaning feature. Take this chair, for example. I know that you think it's clean now, but you would be amazed by how dirty it actually is." Philip laughed and said,
"That's the old man's chair. It's probably dirtier than the floor."
It was then that the salesman realized that he had entered some sort of redneck twilight zone, and this whole thing was probably going nowhere. He sort of just stopped the pitch there and then asked, "Would you like to buy the vacuum?" And Philip said, "Nah, I don't think so. The one that we have now works well enough." This was back before everybody had a cell phone. And so with disappointment, the salesman asked if he could use the phone. My dad went into full redneck mode and said,
"No one in the house is smart enough to use the phone except for Melvin, and she's in college right now. And I don't know anything about no dang sweepers either. She'd be the only one to know about them."
The salesman sort of just slunk out the door, and then Dad told Philip he shouldn't give the salesman such hope.